All right, so it is 12:04. We had an appointment at 12 o'clock. We'll get coffee involved. I can't let you folks know what that's all about, right?
Yeah, a few quick things. This is not a gripe session. This is where you're gonna look at, is where you're gonna learn. If you have gripes, be more than glad to sit down with y'all afterwards. But let's get through and learn. That today you're gonna learn how to default to the Athens board, not to go through some click that Savannah button. You're gonna learn how to set up your home screen. A lot of easy things. It's gonna be on Zoom too, so you can watch it, stop it, go back and forth. So any questions, just jump in there, but he's the expert on this.
This is gonna be recorded, so we go back and watch it, so we
Yep.
don't have to hear.
Yep.
Okay.
Up to you, Elliot.
All right.
I'm a student today too.
All right. So thanks for being here. You're investing in your business by learning how to use different things. And I'll just start off with saying, like showing the dashboard. This is your tools, your set of tools, your suite of tools. When you first log in, this is what you're going to see. If you click show more, and it shows up in different formats for different people, but you're going to see the different tools that we have available to us. I learned from last time I taught this, it brought me a little pointer because, saying where certain things are didn't necessarily work. So several of you were here last time, so I won't go on and on, but we joined with a bigger MLS for regional MLS for many reasons. It's where the industry's headed. People are consolidating, but also like this set of tools right here has grown since we joined Hive, and there's tools up here that you would have never had because we couldn't afford them. So at the $35 a month that you guys pay, there's no way we would offer some of these tools. Real Reports is one of them. That is an amazing tool. I'm not going to get into that. We'll have separate training on that. But just so you know where they're at and what to look for, we've got a couple of tools coming. Remind is a Remind Pro, and then Remind Docs. To me, Dot Loop and Remind are document management programs with e-signature options. To me, those are two of the top-notch ones. Remind is going to cost you $0. It'll be inside of the MLS tools that we offer. So these are things we're able to offer that you. What's Dot Loop? $30 a month. So I got to Remind you can't even purchase on your own. So if you want to Remind, it's $30 a month. Or excuse me, Dot Loop. So just to give you an example of some things, and again, we'll do separate trainings on that. But since I've got people here in the room, I just want to make sure that we're all aware of what we have and what's offered to us. And because we're with Matrix, we've got One Home, and this is an agent portal right here, but it also is your client portal where your clients can go to. And then coming is called One Homeowner. So this is during the transaction right here. And then we'll have One Homeowner, which is for after the transaction, but keeps you, the agent, at the center of their world. So it allows them to upload receipts. It tells them like things about their house. Hey, it's time to change your air filter, all kinds of stuff. It tells them home value. It's an amazing program. Again, all of this is offered inside of your MLS tools suite of tools. And a lot of people have no idea that this even exists, right? They go into the MLS and they're missing out on the value. Brady and I were just talking about, we've got to do a better job as an industry of communicating value and what we bring to the table. And so that's one thing that your board of directors and your MLS team has really been focused on as we build this out with Hive. And so that's exciting. So anyways, I'll get into why you showed up today. So here's your Hive / Matrix. The only thing that's changed, the main thing that's changed is that icon says Hive instead of Matrix, right? So it's the same program. The dashboard looks a little different. I will show you right here. If you go up here where your name is at, and I would say just follow along with me because last time some people didn't follow along and they got lost. I'll take it nice and slow. I'm not here to teach you a whole bunch of things today. I think what I can teach you today could make a world of difference in your day-to-day activities on the MLS.
Go for it.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay. I've got it. And mine shows new listings 3.
Right here. All right. So if you look there, and we can look at that specifically for yours, but so Brenda, look right here at this time frame and see what you have selected. So if we go down to 24 hours.
So we like. 24 hours, maybe I should do.
Yeah, do 24 hours. See if it says 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Great question though. So I'm glad you brought that up. This I don't want to get too whatever. This is one view right here. You can also go back to, and I cringed this, but I'm going to show you. See right here where it says classic mode? You can go back to the old mode if you want to. I would not recommend that, but I'm just here to teach you. That's going to disappear at some time. The way it was explained to me, and I love tech, and I love leaving it to the people who are much smarter than me. But the new technology that's being built, everything that's coming is being built off that other dashboard, and it has to exist for the new technology. So I was just talking beforehand, like I may come across as someone who likes change. I don't love change, but change is inevitable. There's no such thing as standing still. You're either moving forward or you're going backwards. And with the way technology is going today, we're moving forward. If some people get left behind, I hate that. But it's not going to be for lack of us trying and to educate. So here's your dashboard, different things. You can move these around. So we're talking about customization today. You can move these different dashboards around. If you click Edit Dashboard over here on the right-hand side, then you come over here and you can drag these around. Notice also, there's some over here that aren't turned on. So if you have My Listings, now I know why Joy doesn't have this turned on, but if you're an agent, come over here. Well, let me get out of the way. But you can see it right down here where it says My Listings. You're going to turn that on. All right, so what's that do? That throws it on this dashboard over here. And then what you can do if you want to is you can take these things and move them around to wherever you want them. So we'll just mess with hers because she can fix it back later. I got My Listings, and I want that to be up here because we're starting to see more listings. Oh, here we go. Close that down, and now look what's right here. My Listings. All right. Questions about that? So I started over here with Edit Dashboard. All right. Inside of these, and this is a prevalent tool throughout this program, inside of these is these little cogs, gears, whatever you want to call it. We'll call it a gear. So it's a gear. So inside of these gears is where you can customize each one of these. And this is, and I say that because that is the tool that you're going to use in the next as you move forward. You're always looking for that little gear and how you can change it, right? So we can come over here, we can do this. We can come over here to Market Watch. Well, we can't edit Market Watch. We can edit our hot sheet. All right, so what do we want to see? Everybody follow me there? All right. Right here. Look up Edit Dashboard. All right, so if yours is on the bottom, let's say we want market stats, which is actually what I would want. So I'm going to move market stats up. Just over here on the side, we can move it around. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you're going to hit your back arrow up here where it says close. And now my market stats is front and center. So I forgot, I should have prefaced it. This program is phenomenal because it's customizable. It's also maddening to some folks because it's customizable, right? I get it. That's why I'm standing right here, and I want to help every agent that wants to be helped. You get it set up the way you want it, and you don't touch it unless you want to change it. You're not stuck in a screen. There's other programs I use. You're absolutely stuck. There's nothing customizable about it. I have to scroll all the way to the bottom to find where it says how many acres of land are you looking for. I'm about to show you you can do that all on your own. You don't have to scroll to the bottom. It can be very top if that's what you're looking for. I'll show you in just a second. But my point is, there's a lot, I won't say everything, there's a lot of stuff on here that's all customizable. So I'm going to come in here to my market hot sheet, right? So I do want to show you this, right? Because this is where the value can be So if I come in here to, oh shoot, where's that? Hold on a second. All right. I can customize in there. What is it doing? All right, I'll have to come back to that because that was not what I wanted to do. I'll come back to that. I got to play with it. All right, so again, you can customize. So now I'm going to come in here. This is in my home dashboard, right? Well, I'll first pull things up. Let me go to a new listing. All right. So now I'm in here. So I went search and I went new. This residential detail is going to be your old sheet. So if you just get flustered, you get stuck, you can go back. I will, the caveat, this will disappear. I don't know when. It could be a year, it could be 2 years. I don't know when it's going to disappear. But the new technology is built off this sheet right here. I would encourage you to hang in this sheet, this view right here. All right, so we'll start over here. If you look at this left-hand side, again, this is talking about customizing all of this stuff. If you start on this left-hand side, all right, so you have different options. So I was talking about land, right? So now I'm looking for land. So I can pull up land, and it's only going to search for land. All right. So now I'm kind of frustrated because, well, I don't want to see everything. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, well, I only want to see Athens. Everybody following me? So right here. So I selected and I said Athens and I said apply. Now, if that's the only change I wanted to make, and for this conversation, it is the only change I want to make right now, I'm going to look right here to my disk. So one thing I love about this is if you hover over, it's going to tell you what that button does. Very helpful. So I click set clear defaults. So it brings me up a couple options. Set currently selected search criteria as my main starting default or reset. All right, so reset. I'll skip to the second one real quick. Reset is like, man, I've made so many different changes. I have no idea what's going on. I need to go back because I've jacked things up. I've done that before. Because you can't really break this system. I'll just say, like, you're not going to break it because you're customizing it for you. So if you quote break it, don't like it, you just reset it. All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say set currently selected criteria. I come back to here. All right. So every time I go to search for land, it's going to have, I'm searching Athens. Does that make sense?
So you set that up for residential?
You have to set up for each of them. Bear with me here for a sec because like some of this has already been done. So I'm having to make sure I'm telling you correctly. But you're going to set it up for each because if you come over here to multifamily, it's not set up that way. So if you look right here, you're going to see everything in the MLS. I understand we don't want to see everything. This also is about data. This world we live in today is all about data. And he who with the most data wins. That's the name of the game. All right. So let's say, all right, you got it set up. I'll go back to residential. Okay, because that's where we all spend most of our time. All right, so residential is already set up. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing Athens data. Nothing else other than Athens. All right, so also inside of here, I can customize. Remember, we talked about the customization. So I'll go back right here, gear, customize search fields. All right, now I'm in here. Everything on the left-hand side is what you have currently to search from. So I'm looking up residential. Let's just pretend I don't give a hoot about garage spaces. I need that gone. Out. Click on the X, it disappears. All right, so what's someone's favorite thing? Blake, what's your favorite thing to search by? Wait, not favorite, what would be your go-to? Like 90-something% of the time you go, this is what I'm starting with.
Beds and baths.
Beds and baths. All right, we'll see what one we come to first. All right, we came to total beds. All right, so now I'm gonna go here, and I'm like, Blake's like, but I have got to search for beds first every time. Price, yeah, whatever. This sure, but here's the point. Here's the great part. You can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Right. That's the beautiful. Right. I mean, it's the beautiful thing and the maddening thing is it's customizable.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to sit down and actually customize it. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, I just want a default screen. Great. There's a default screen there too. Hey, whatever you want. All right. So now, for purposes of this, we're done for now. Blake set his up and he got his bed total beds. Oh, I forgot I got to hit save. Where's my save? Is it hidden? Hidden behind my bar here? Yep. All right, bear with me for a second. All right, so I hit save. All right, now look what's up top. There's my beds. Now, because I'm up here, I can make the argument, right? So, how many of you? I bet you could find the majority of the houses you're looking for with probably 4 or 5 different categories. You can put those all up top. There's no scrolling down. Again, it's what's yours. If you want all of them on there, so let's say there's one that's not on there. The thing I love is it tells you what's on there. You don't have to look back and forth, right? This company has spent a lot of time and a lot of feedback. No, it's not perfect. But I'm really concerned with whether it has an attic or not. That's a big, actually, let's be somewhat realistic, a basement, right? So that I can search by basement. All right, so now I've clicked that, I hit save. I come back over here. I scroll down and now basement's there. Now basement is on my left-hand side. It is part of my search features. So what do I do if I don't like basement at the bottom? Boom. I'll move it up top. Blake's total beds just got next as the top search feature. Right? So now I'm searching for basement. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
But there's no way to see all the pictures to try to figure out what. I don't know, sometimes,
So yeah, we can work through that. Like on the side, I got a map. Yeah, it's different for everybody. The thought of having 50 to search through for me is overwhelming. But
you could go to the old one and look at the search screen for that, and then if you liked that, you go out and try.
Sure. Absolutely. I've been around a couple minutes. The lack of intentionality in our industry as a whole is alarming. So we don't pay attention to a whole lot, right? Agents just allow us into the pants. Heck, y'all are here, so you're already above like 90% of the rest of them, right? Who never show up to anything. And then we just hope business happens. So this is a bit of intentionality to what we're doing. Just my opinion. I haven't fully got mine done yet. Probably have 4 or 5 over there. I may be searching price range and location, maybe county, right? And as the market shifts, right? Let's say we have, I don't know what we have right now. 2,000 active listings. Making a stab. Anyway, let's pretend we have 2 for the sake of conversation. We'll move on. Let's say we have 4,000. All right, we might have a little more details. Right now, I do care about a basement or an attic or whatever feature. Right, I had a buyer recently. She was not moving in the house without a pool, so that matters. Right, so as the market shifts, so can our sheet and what we look for. There was a time not too long ago that I think most of you probably remember. You're searching for accounting. That was it. Maybe you got lucky in a city, but probably accounting. If you were looking for homes in, let's say even a neighborhood, like that would be just a single search in a neighborhood in Kingswood, and there was 1. Or there was a time in Georgia Club there was like 2. Now there's 20 something, right? So I like this idea that you can use this, shift it as you will. Any questions on this side? Is everybody fairly clear on how you can do it. So you're switching between what you're looking for, right? And you can always come down to cross property, meaning it's searching everything. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a way to just make it its default AOR?
Yep.
I just selected it every single time.
So if you come up here, let's go down here to multifamily because this hasn't been done yet. And I'm glad you said that because it made me think of something else. So I'm clicking list AOR. So I'm going to click Athens. I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to hit this disk button. And I'm going to set as my selected search criteria for default. You have to do that for each one of the property categories.
And will that just that whether to like no matter what search.
Correct. Well, for each, Deanna, for each one of these, you have to set it for each one of those as the default. And then it will stay.
Whether I go to this like resident.
I don't know about that. I'm leaning. I'm leaning towards this because this will be here. The other will not. I'm really hesitant to teach anything that's going away.
That's
So
Is,
that, yeah, go ahead.
is there a search for homes that's like not in an HOA? Like, can you look for homes with no HOA?
So you look over here and just see what options it gives us. If okay, yeah, it could be. I don't know the answer to that question. If it is, it's there. That's how you would do it. All right. Any other? So again, don't forget to set it as a default. That way it is your default, right? It comes back to your screen. This one right here. So I made a mistake and I actually called my guy at Hive and I was like, hey, Steven, oh, what it's doing, man, it's jacked up. I thought I looked, but I had something entered in a field over on the search side down below where I could see and it got set as a default. So it was like the worst case scenario as far as this goes for this situation. It was like 625 was the address. And so it would bring up no houses. And I kind of panicked and I was like, oh no, we're about to start getting some phone calls. Well, that was my fault. I was the only one having that problem. You clear search fields. We're back to nothing in there.
Does
So,
that still keep you on the Athens? Clear? Yeah, go back.
that's a great question, Jim. It appears that it clears out everything.
Okay.
But you can go, great question, Jim. Thank you. You can go back, like, for whatever reason. That seems kind of odd, but that's how you do it. The other thing that I thought, Deanna, as you asked this one right here, make sure you've got the correct one selected here that you're looking for as your default. Again, we're just talking default. We're making customizations. I think once you figure out the defaults, you can come in here and play around with it. Sure.
So what was the searching? And I went to the three.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I print screen it, made a PDF. I
Sure.
can print it out. And if you like the way the old one looks, you can use that to select the template for you.
Great idea.
So. you come back.
Yeah.
I think that. And the question is, we then, as we able to venture into the details and how wonderful it is, we can search for things and that, because we couldn't before. I think at this point, people are just wanting to kind of figure out how to get what we had and then move forward.
Sure. Whatever works for you. That you do what works for you. I think that's a good suggestion. That may work for somebody else as well. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Cheryl.
Can you do more than one default, like one default for housing and one for land?
Yep. So if you come up here, I'm gonna come down here to land. And then my land default is going to look completely different than my residential. Yep, absolutely. Again, broken record, but here's the beauty, curse, whatever you want to call it, of this. Yes. Then it doesn't clear it like permanently. You would go back. So if I go residential detail and I hit clear all fields, it does clear everything out of here.
Yeah.
But I can come back, toggle between the two, and I'm back to my default page. That would be correct. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So if we're good here, I'll move over to right here. I know there's been some, this one again is done, but let's just say that's what pops up when you open up that screen. We're just looking at the map, right? So that's what pops up when you look at this screen. You're like, this is ridiculous. This does me no good. 100%. So now I'm scrolling back down into Athens. And again, personal preference. How far, what kind of view do you want to see? All right, well, look for this. I like this view right here. I'm coming over here to set defaults. So if you look up here, I'm over here with the disk on my pop-up screen. All right. So I'm going to click on my disk. I'm going to say set this map as my starting default. And now I'm done. Every time I pull that screen up, it will be that view. When I first started at Savannah, it's driving me bananas. I'm like, please, somebody show me how to change this. Somebody showed me how, now I'm showing you how.
What does the narrow at the bottom? Right.
Yep. All right, so good question, Jim. All right, so let's look at some arrows real quick. So I'm gonna look at this arrow right here. Right? I want to show you what you can do. You can get rid of that, right? So I've done my search. Now I want it gone because it's just taking up space on my screen. I want it back. I can do here. All right. So Jim was asking about these little arrows right here. So if you like the map view, I'm one that likes the map. Trust me, there's plenty of you that don't like the map. I've been told. That's fine. It's whatever you want to use. This isn't personal. It's a tool at your disposal. So now I click my little screen right here, and I've got a map. Now I'm just playing around in here, and I'm coming in here, right? And I can click on that house, and it shows me the details over here. I can scroll down, right? But I'm still on my map. And a lot of times people are like, I've got to be in Boulevard. Has to be. Okay, great. So they want to be in Boulevard. They don't care what house they're buying, but they just want to be in Boulevard, normal town, whatever. So here we are in normal town. All right, what are we looking at? They want to, whatever. That's what they're looking for.
You can draw
Yep.
a box around it.
Correct. So if you're also, you can come up here and do different shapes. If you want to pull up just the listings in a certain area, which that was a big conversation piece, but I'm gonna draw a freehand polygon because they want to be all in here, and then that gives me an area. I can do different things with the area as well. I can save the area. I won't get into all that, but there's different, you can create your own areas. Yep. Yep. So, all right. So right here, I'm going to say, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Play with this program. You can't break it. They don't allow you to break it. Right? So what do we do if we jack it totally up? Well, we either log out and come back in, or we put it back, set restore defaults. This is the number one problem when I was in teaching. People didn't want to play with things. They didn't want to learn new things. Got into real estate. That government, it's the same stick of things, right, Deanna? You were in teaching, education, right? We don't like new things. You kind of play with this, right? So we're setting you up for success. If you don't want to play with it, that's fine. You'll probably never utilize everything that it has. Doesn't mean you're going to utilize it every time you log on. It just means that sometimes somebody's going to tell you they want a drive time, but they're going to tell you that they want And these different search features allow you to access information in a different way.
So my question,
Absolutely.
Where you're putting in, like adding another locations, will it tell you the most efficient order to drive to those locations?
Great question. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not used that feature.
Okay, I'm just curious, Showtime will do it.
So showing time, I would like to think that it does. I was gonna say I use showing time.
Yeah.
To map it out for me.
so it shows you like 15 minutes. As you can see, it probably depends on the loop, but there's also a time of day that you can put in there.
Cool.
If you know, the people leave, they're trying to figure out that you work at 8 o'clock there.
Yep.
So if they say drive from wherever their workplace is in 15 minutes, this shows you all, this
Perfect.
gives you a polygon.
Love it. Yes, sir.
When I came back in, I've got my default set, there's happens. You know, that still not looking that.
So you gotta do over here.
Okay.
So yeah, you gotta set, great question. On your map. If we're going back to our screen. So remember I was talking about the gear. So your gear over here controls this panel. Your gear over all this over here controls this. And then I don't want to get too far ahead because last time I think I didn't do as good a job as I should have. Your gear here, we'll get to this in just a second, controls this. So each there's 3 panels. Each of them's customizable to certain extents. All right, so any questions on, wrong button. Any questions on the map side? Again, we're not diving too deep. I understand that. Thank you for bringing out new features. Jim, we'll add those to the list for future dive-ins. All right.
That helped me a lot. I got really confused on the map.
Yes. I've talked with people, even my assistants, like I hate the map. I want the map to disappear. Okay, great. Like make the map disappear. I don't care. I don't care how you search for houses. All right. So now we're in here. All right. So hopefully by now, like this won't look new to you. So my gear up here, right in here, I'm going to click my gear. Same type features can be displayed down there. Or same features. Some of the same features can be displayed down there. So one of them that was not on mine, that didn't make any sense, but whatever, it wasn't there, was county. But apparently it's already on that one. I mean,
And for the person that asked that Asian, it's this Asian yesterday.
all right, so I want county up there. So I'm going to click, I'm going to click on there. All right, county or parish, because it's not on that sheet and I want it on that sheet. So now I click it here. I hit save. I've got to go back in. I'm over on my left-hand side over here. County or parish. Well, that's important to me. Right? So it may not be the first one, but for this conversation it is. I hit save. And now here we are. So you can take all these up here and you can make them whatever you want them to be. Just so we're all on the same page too, like you've got photos here, or what's going to bring up the details over here. Your map takes you over here to InfoSparks, giving you data on the area, right? And then so on. But again, it's your sheet. So this isn't a one size fits all. Broken record, but you're getting where we're going, right? A lot of them are just one size fits all. I can appreciate this. I think that a lot of what we're doing is preparing for what's coming with the younger and younger people are getting in, older people are getting out. It's the circle of life. It's what happens. They're going to want this stuff. And if we want to stay in business, just well, side note, Classic MLS is owned by the board. So if the board would like to keep all the income from the MLS and you guys like the board, that's why we're doing what we're doing. So we can stay in business. If we don't offer it, they'll go somewhere else that does. We got the heinies kicked a little bit. We are talking beforehand. NAR got their hiney kicked a little bit, right? And then the industry's gotten its hiney kicked a little bit for lack of innovation. When I got in, there was a whole lot of, well, this is the way we do things. It's the way we've always done them. It's the way we'll always do them. I don't mean, this is what was told to me, right? So like, it's all right. Okay, cool. I don't love change, but we don't stand still. We're either moving forward or going backwards. Any questions about this? You can do different views here, however you want to view it. Come over here. Different. You look at pictures. Also, right here, here's different search features over here as well. Sometimes we just need a picture. I'm a visual person. I love that view. You don't get near as many listings right there, but you do get a view. Because there's nothing more frustrating than getting all excited about the specs on the house, and then you click on the picture, pops up, and you're like, dear heaven. They're never going to want that house. So you got all excited and then wasted your time. Anyway, we're all, again, I love just the uniqueness of what we can do. I will say, so when you start off, just because I was just noticing something, you can click these buttons that will expand these views, and it's going to go back to what you had. So if you've had it shrunk like this all the way up, it's going to go back to exactly like that. So I would recommend that you keep it somewhat like that. If you want to look at all just pictures, do that. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have that shrunk, and then all of a sudden you're going to click that button and it's not going to do what you want it to do, and then you're going to get frustrated. So I would say, again, just personal preference, leave it like this and use those buttons if you want to be in map mode or just results mode or whatever. Any questions about that? All right, so we've customized all three of our panels to some extent. All right. I'm going to show you one more thing. Y'all continue to just kind of play around. It didn't do what I wanted to earlier, so let me.
Can we set the hot sheet just to Athens?
Yes, and that's. I may have to grab my computer because it's not doing. I don't know if it's because Joy's logged in. Like it's not doing what I was expecting it to do. But yes, because I've customized the hot sheet to what I want it to be. I'm kind of at a blank while that's doing that. I may. Because normally there was a feature to customize what's inside of these. So, all right. The other one's really frustrating me.
Y'all remember too, there's tons of videos on here. That you can't figure something out. There's tons of videos, you can always pull the video up to watch it.
That's one of them. I want it to look like that.
Mhm.
It's not doing it. All right. Bear with me here. It's not, this one's not cooperating. So if you go to your dashboard, all right, so we're back at this dashboard, and you go to new listings. Does everybody's look like that? With more of a single line view. Let me see what's popping up for everybody. Okay, good. All right. Oops, sorry. If you go to, and this is gonna be kind of hard to do, but if you go to
Start from the dashboard, go to before.
go to like new listings. Sorry. New list market watch. Just click right there. See if I can make it to on the other screen. All right, good. It's going to cooperate here. Just this is what your screen should look like. You didn't get there the same way I got there, but this is what your screen should look like. If you don't see something, if you want these in different orders, you can pick these up and move them around. All right. If you don't have a column that you like, all right, this is going to seem kind of weird. So follow me. If you don't have a column that you like, you come over here in just a blank gray space. You're going to right click. I'm sorry, you're going to left click. And then we're going to insert a column. And then we're back to basement. We want to make that. We're going to add it to the right of the address. And I hit apply. And now I have basement up there. Everybody follow that. So you can add columns in here. We can shrink them down. We can make them bigger.
Does that always stay like that?
Yes, because I'm going to say back to my gear. Great question, Jim. Thank you. So I'm back up here with my gear. So I've made a change here, and I'm going to say set current display as my default. And every time that comes up, that will be your default. So the one thing that's missing here, and I had to add it, I thought hers must be completely different from ours, but I needed to the right of here, and I want to insert a column, and I want county. So I click county, I hit apply, and now I've got my county. I'm gonna bring it over here because I want it there. And actually, I was just kidding. I don't want basement, so I'm gonna remove that column. All right, so you can customize that one as you will. And again, you can make them bigger, smaller, bigger, however you like them. Yes, ma'am.
So, don't start the like, let's say we have a search where we wanted to look at hot shoes, but organize everything by county or by number of bedrooms. Like before, we could like click on the header bed, and it would organize all the company and all the parts
For here.
Any search.
I'll look at that. What you're talking about. I know. There's a way to customize the hot sheets. This is not cooperating because of Joy's settings. This is not my computer. So, anyway. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. That's been 50 minutes. You guys have been fantastic. Happy to answer any questions afterwards. There's only so much you can handle in one day. I myself included, like all of us, like there's only so much you can learn, retain, and then apply. If you go back, if you go back and quasi master this and get this all taken care of, you're going to be in good shape.
You do it one time and you're one and done.
You're one and done. Yeah. Again, You get, this is it. It's really, yeah. It can be very, very useful. It is a tool for you. There's some bad ones out there. We act like we like them.
Yeah.
Here's my premise on this. We act like we like them until we don't, and when we don't, it's kind of too late. So we used to do Navica, and people say, I love Navica, right? They love Navica, 2 reasons, in my opinion. One's what they learned on. 2, it's simple. All right, cool. That's absolutely. Just didn't do a whole lot. It was not progressing with the times. We are going to be left behind in the dust and be out of business. So if about money, got to make money to stay in business. We all do. Every one of us sitting here has to make money to stay in business. My kids like to eat. When you elect your board of directors, it's their job to lead. And I've had words with folks on different boards and said, you were elected, you were placed, do your stinking job. So here we are, doing the best that we know how to do with the information we're given, where the industry is headed. And I think your board is doing a darn good job.
Joy's gonna send this email, the Zoom link out. So it's the best one to keep. You can start and stop it as you go through and.
Side note, thanks, you brought that up. So in here is, gosh, he doesn't have access. All right, if you click on here, you're gonna have no, here it is. Sorry, Core Logic Matrix Learning Lab. That is it can be a little overwhelming. I'll tell you, it is a wealth of knowledge. It's what Jim was referring to earlier. Video after video after video.
I have a question. So I currently pay for doctor,
Mm-hmm.
a subscription. How, I don't want to lose all that information that I have in my document. How do I get that transferred over into this one so I don't have to pay for it if we don't?
So I'm not. This is down at the bottom for a reason. This was my call. Dot Loop was offering us 25 free loops with our showing time essentials package. Right. No, 25 loops per person, and then it's $30 a month. That's why this is here. Remind is coming. Give us a couple months. It's coming. Like it takes 6 to 8 months to launch a product from start to finish, maybe longer. So to answer your question, my understanding, and maybe Jim, you're a dot loop user as well, but my understanding is you will always have access to your loops. You just can't create new loops. You can continue to pay the money. Well, you can do whatever, right? You can do whatever you want to. This is 25 free loops, and it probably would be, we would get those connected. You would still have your information. Remind docs, that's what it's called, is going to be part of your MLS, unlimited.
So Remind is some sort of document.
Remind is very, very similar to dot loop. Very similar.
What about stuff we've had with the Forms R Us? Is that get 12 a month?
Forms R Us,
It's unlimited.
it's unlimited.
It will probably go.
Well, it's not the forms, but you have the digital signature with Settleware that you can click on, you get 12. If you go over 12, you have to pay.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. I know.
It's a free thing.
What's the other one that we had? Oh, Zip Forms is Lone Wolf, and that is attached with DocuSign. I didn't love it. I've used, for someone who doesn't like change, I've used like 7 of them. And so far, Remind and Dot Loop are my favorites. Dot Loop may nudge out, but I'm frugal enough that it didn't nudge out at $30 a month enough. So I use Remind Docs. I have access to that through FMLS. Unfortunately, my broker has chosen to be a member of that. But
Get my dot loop stuff.
I'm not going to answer that question, but I can imagine that before my video. Like, same email address. We will or not, like, let me get an answer on that.
I would say call dot loop. That's really important. We don't want to steer you in the wrong
Yeah.
direction. But once you've got something dot loop, it never ever goes away. You just can't add new stuff.
When I went from KW to a different broker with Dot Loop, they were both there. So I think if I'm remembering right, there was like a little icon. You clicked on it and said, "Old one, new one." It didn't say that; it had names on there. So information was still there, it's just depending on which profile it was under. So, yep,
Good job.
any other questions? Alright. Good. I learn something new every time I do this, Brenda, just have life, right here.
Y'all starting to feel a little better, a little more comfortable now?
You gotta get in there to use it.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I've ever seen with my business and the tools that we have is you go a month. How y'all are, sure, everyone get off slide this, right? But I wasn't, and you get rusty. Right, on these different tools, so it's hard to go in there and use something that you're not using on a regular
What-
basis.
I get a lot of calls, people in a panic because they have to do something. And they've known for a month to go ahead and try to set this up. And then all of a sudden on a Saturday at 4 o'clock, they're trying to figure out, and my phone rings and they're all frustrated. So do it now and you don't have to worry about it.
Play. You're that for me until I go away.
We can have play dates. We can all bring our laptops and watch it and
Yep.
set it up.
All right, well, thank y'all, appreciate you coming, investing in yourself. Yep. Good to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. Yep.
Feeling more comfortable with it now?